The fluorescent lights hummed above Sarah's head, casting a sterile glow on the colorful cereal boxes lining the aisle. She scanned the shelves, her daughter Lily skipping ahead, her tiny hand clutching a box of animal crackers. It was a Wednesday afternoon, the supermarket bustling with the usual after-work crowd, their hurried movements blurring into a familiar symphony of daily life. Sarah inhaled the artificial scent of cleaning products mingled with the sweet aroma of freshly baked bread, a comforting normalcy she'd taken for granted until this moment. "Mommy, can we get the one with the marshmallows?" Lily's cheerful voice broke through Sarah's thoughts. Glancing down at the colorful box in Lily's hand, Sarah smiled. "Not today, sweetie. Remember, we talked about trying healthier options." Lily's face crumpled, but before Sarah could offer a comforting hug, something strange caught her eye. At the end of the aisle, a display of sparkling fruit juices seemed to shimmer, the light around it distorting for a fleeting second. She blinked, trying to clear her vision, but the image returned to normal, leaving her with a prickle of unease. "Mommy, you okay?" Lily's small hand tugged at Sarah's dress, her brow furrowed with concern. "Yes, sweetheart," Sarah reassured her, forcing a smile. "Just thought I saw something move. Must be tired." Shaking off the strange visual, Sarah continued down the aisle, her mind struggling to dismiss the odd occurrence. She rounded the corner, expecting to find the juice display, but it was gone. The space was empty, occupied only by the pristine white floor tiles gleaming under the harsh fluorescent lights. Confusion washed over her. She could have sworn it was right there, a vibrant splash of colors against the monotonous backdrop. Had she taken a wrong turn? Was her mind playing tricks on her? Panic pricked at the edges of her composure. She scanned the surrounding aisles, her heart pounding against her ribs. There was no sign of the missing display, no stray bottles to indicate it had ever been there. "Lily, did you see that juice display? The one with the grapes on the boxes?" Sarah asked, her voice tight with apprehension. Lily tilted her head, her brow furrowed in thought. "What juice, Mommy? We just got here." Her daughter's words hit Sarah like a bucket of ice water. Lily had been with her the entire time. They hadn't passed any juice displays, had they? The rest of the shopping trip passed in a blur. Sarah moved through the aisles mechanically, her mind replaying the disappearing display, each iteration amplifying the unsettling feeling in the pit of her stomach. She tried to rationalize it, to find a logical explanation. Had she been so distracted she simply hadn't noticed they'd passed it? Leaving the store, the weight of the afternoon pressed down on Sarah. She secured Lily in her car seat, her movements automatic, her mind miles away. She needed a second opinion, a grounding voice to pull her back from the precipice of her unraveling sanity. "Hey, you okay?" David, her husband, greeted her with a warm smile as she walked through the door later that evening. "I think I might be losing it," Sarah muttered, her voice barely a whisper. She recounted the incident at the supermarket, the missing display, her daughter's obliviousness. Each word felt heavy, tangible evidence of her unraveling grip on reality. Dinner that night was a subdued affair. Sarah pushed the food around her plate, her appetite replaced by a growing sense of unease. Lily chattered about her day at preschool, her innocent words washing over Sarah in a wave of comforting normalcy. But just as she was starting to relax, her gaze fell on her son, Ethan, sitting across the table. Something was different. Ethan, normally a messy eater with a mischievous glint in his eye, was meticulously wiping his mouth with a napkin, his movements precise, almost robotic. But it was his eyes that truly unnerved her. They were a shade of green she'd never noticed before, vibrant and intense, like those of a cat in the dead of night. "Ethan, honey, are you wearing colored contacts?" Sarah asked, her voice trembling slightly. Ethan looked up, his brow furrowed in confusion. "Contacts? No, Mom, why?" Sarah opened her mouth to speak, but no words came out. She stared at her son, a sense of surreal disbelief washing over her. First the disappearing display, and now this? Was she trapped in some bizarre, distorted reality? David chuckled, his eyes crinkling at the corners. "Maybe you've stumbled onto one of those parallel universe things, honey. You know, like in that movie we watched?" His light-hearted response, though intended to ease the tension, did little to quell the unease gnawing at Sarah's insides. However, as the evening progressed, a strange sense of acceptance settled over her. She found herself drawn into a lively discussion with David and Lily, their open-minded approach to the unusual surprisingly comforting. Later that night, as Sarah lay in bed, her mind replaying the day's events, she couldn't shake the feeling that something profound had shifted within her. The world, once a predictable and familiar place, now held a hint of the unknown, a subtle shimmer at the edges of her perception. She thought of the countless others who might have experienced similar glitches in the Matrix, their stories dismissed as hallucinations or mental breakdowns. Was it easier to label someone insane than to consider the possibility that our understanding of reality was woefully incomplete? As she drifted off to sleep, a single question echoed in her mind. If we never question what we perceive, how can we ever hope to see what lies beyond?